Hello everyone. Here I am. Are you there? Of course not. How can you? We just started. So let's try to put everything together. So many things to do before we can really start. So this stream will be in YouTube and on Twitch also. Or at least that's the point. Let's see how it goes. I think this will be fun. You can get some kind of clue there. It's only getting harder. But that's not the point yet. We will go gaming. This is kind of difficult to do so many things at the same time. So we will play along, and there you can see our first map, an uncharted world, rural locations, over 100,000 rural locations. So that's tough by itself, but that's not the point. But I think that we must start to play before I can put the link there, because unlike the party mode here in play along, you can't get the code before you start gaming. Or maybe you can. There is a code. That's cool. That's cool. So that is our code. You can take it from there, and in the meantime I will also put it there. Well, it's quite long, so I have to make a little bit changes. It's worth waiting. Trust me, it's worth waiting. I'm slow, but we're getting there. So SX. No. SX. 4 W. No. W. What? And R. Finally. Sometimes this is just hard. But wait a minute. And now you can see what I was trying to do. So there is the code. And the first half of this live you use that code. And the other half, the code will be party code, and it's different from that. But I try to put that code there also. But we are starting easy, so this is totally normal gaming, nothing special. It's 1 minute 20 seconds because 1 minute 20 seconds because this supposed to be hard, but it's not hard yet, of course. We are just putting this together. And like I said, it will be harder and harder when we go on and on with this. But can this be France? Can this be France? Am I right or not? And yes, we are really play along here at the first part of this live. And I think the first part will be about 3 hours. I hope that it is 3 hours. Welcome, Valtteri. It seems to be Valtteri. Well, not bad. Not bad for me. Not bad for me. But really, this is the easy part. This is the easy part. Because I meant that you are playing against each other and I'm just hosting. But now we are waiting. We are waiting for you. So come along. Come along. Sign in or whatever that thing is that you must do with the code that you can join us. Is this USA or Canada? Canada? Something. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. But you will see. This will be tough. This will be tough competition when we get more players. There is only one, because I think there is only Valtteri. Well, there can be someone else, because there seems to be 2 players already. So, but I really hope that we can get more players. So who is that? Welcome anyway. But yes, we are here. But this is not the real gaming yet. It's Daniel. Welcome, Daniel. Nice to see you. That's cool. This is the not real gaming yet, because we are just waiting. Yes, I will read your chat. Let's go next. And so, and this will be the time scale. So it's 1 minute 20 seconds, because there is also the delay. It's something between 10 seconds and 50 seconds. It is shortest delay that I can make, but it's not in my hands totally. So well, this is too tough for me. But can it be somewhere over here? This can also be something like Spain, or I don't know. Even in Africa or something like that. Yes, but it's not only the time. It's the play along. You only have the same things to see that I have, and maybe not even that. You have to think about that. Maybe you don't have even the same view as I. You will see. So I really hope that we can get more players, because it's more interesting that way. So Daniel says that, can you play my quiz? Noon is in your party, please. Yes, we can try that. Yes, that's quite possible. And I think we play a little bit faster than last time. It's interesting, but maybe we shouldn't use a huge amount of time, because that can be boring when we are trying to play quite fast. Again, I am confused. I'm a little bit confused. Nothing American, so maybe in Europe. So it was in Russia. In Russia, yes. But now is perfect time if you think you are really good to join, because you will be tested. You will be tested during this 3 hour or something. Daniel says it's not random. Yes, that's good. I know it's not random. That is cool. We have to think that because I have to leave my own party to join your party. No, I don't have. I don't remember anyway. But I think it was like that I had to leave my party to join yours, and that's obviously not very good thing in the middle of gaming, to cut the party and kick everyone out and start a new party and things like that. But we can handle. We can think something. And usually the good thing is put that kind of things either at the end of something or at the beginning of something. So let's see. How is my guess? Is that good or bad? It's so bad. It's so bad. Koike, welcome. Koike was in Mongolia, but I'm not in there. Why I'm not in there? I got 1 point, I think. Only 16,000 kilometers wrong. Hello, Koike. Koike seems to be in Twitch. I think. I can be wrong. But now is your time to shine. Here is Valtteri and Koike. At least I know they want to shine, so this is your chance. Yes, Daniel, yes, that's cool. Let's look at that closer, but I can promise that we will check that. So now we are really starting, because we have players, and I think that you stay in this play along. You do not have to sign again, even if I change maps and do these kind of things. I think let's do world cities expert level. So this is 1000 location. Well, that's too small. That is too little. That's not possible. How about urban world? You will see what is the point. I check that is, yes, that is the same. That is the same code, so that's okay. That's okay. We will have another like this, but now can you guess what will happen when we are gaming and why I can't join as a gamer with you? That is because of course we have different view. I can see everything and you can't. But if you can know where we are, that is kind of cool. I will show things to you like this, but not always, not very long time. And you must also remember that there is a delay. So I think it's about 10 or 20 seconds, but you never know. You are taking a chance if you wait too long. So it was in Portland, Portland there. No one got it exactly, and I think if you can play yourself, you can find this place. So both Koike and Valtteri, at least, they can find those kind of places almost exactly. So that is cool. That is cool. But this is much harder. You have to rely on some terrible gamers' field of view, and you have to make guesses based on irrelevant things like these kind of things, and it's harder, but I think it's kind of fun, because I think that you are too good to easy games. You are too good for easy games. You need challenges, and this is challenge. I promise you that this really is gonna be some challenge, because this is always hard, and when you have to trust some stupid scenery that is so hard. So it was in Santa Cruz, and Santa Cruz is in Bolivia, and Valtteri and Koike both were the right continent, South America, Ecuador there from Valtteri, and Argentina from Ecuador from Koike, and Argentina from Valtteri. Place was Bolivia, and I don't know where Daniel is. And Koike, you will see. Just wait, you will see. It's not everything here yet. You will see, and you will find out that I will not let you easy. I most certainly will not let you easy. Like I said, every game is harder than the previous one. So it's getting harder, harder, harder. When you think it can't get any harder, it will get harder. So that's why I'm so excited, because not very many players are good enough for that kind of challenges. But I know that you are. Yes, Daniel, we will do that. We will take your quiz. I already promised that. That is sure thing. But let's do one thing at a time, because there is also the stream. I will say it's somewhere in Netherlands. Yes, interesting. It was there. So Valtteri is little bit closer. Both our competitors knew the right country, but it was in Hague. Or is that in Rotterdam? I think it's Hague. And there, beside the canal. So Daniel, everything's okay. We will take your quiz, but one thing at a time. One thing at a time. And yes, I know Koike. Koike says that it blocks 30% of the view. I know. That's the point. That's the point. This is the hard way. This really is the hard way. This isn't easy. This isn't easy in any way. And you will see it's not that it's sign. It will be much, much more. You will see. And it's kind of sad that there is only 2 of you good players there. Of course, Daniel is the 3rd already, but before there were very much more extremely good players. So this is kind of for them, but it's not up to me if we can get the good and the best players here during this live of play along. But if we can get, this is for them. This is tough already, and it's getting harder, harder, harder all the time. And at the end, when we are played about that 3 hours, I think that it's almost impossible. But when I look at your gaming, you know where we are. For example, here, like Brazil or Paraguay, Argentina, and these, it's kind of part of road or something, and you know exactly where you are. So you need less and less information for the picture. This went almost even, and it was in Detroit. It was in Detroit, so good guesses. But like I said, this is for experts. So not kind of players what I am. I have no chance at all in this kind of games. And I mean playing like you. Hosting is different thing. You can host game without knowing anything, but you can't play, and most certainly you can't win avenue. So Bonifacio Global City Eco Tower BDO. And I really mean to show you kind of bad material, so you can't get too good information, because if you can find it yourself, you will know. I know that you will know. No guesses there. That was interesting. I don't know what happened. But let's see the total score. So GeoGuessr won by 13,000 points and Valtteri was second with 9,700 points, and Daniel came along a little bit later, so I don't think that we can count that, and I'm not part of competition because it's not equal. So I think that we can maybe again change the map, but now Koike, you will see what's the point, because I think McDonald's is quite good. We will do that, and we can see that yes, the code is the same, and if you don't know which code I mean, it's there on your screen, or also that SX4WR, that is a code, and this is play along. So but now Koike, you will see. So like I said, Koike, it's only getting harder and harder. And this is only possible with good players, really good players, like Koike, like Valtteri, and like many other players which we have. Not right now with us, but what we have usually here. They can compete and they can win with so little information. It's almost ridiculous. But I make it so that it's not easy. And of course, if you are saying this is too hard, it's not. Because it's not a question that you have to have perfect score. It's only that you have to be better than your opponent. That's only thing. Yes, that was Daniel, Koike, Gino, Valtteri still here. So yes, every one of you knew that it was in England, and every one of you are almost the same area. So I think that you took kind of sure bet there in southern England, and it was a little bit more north. It was there. So interesting. Yes, I think I am reading the chat in Twitch. So if we're blocking things, can we move the leftmost square away from the round timer? Yes, that is certainly a good idea. I think I will look closer when we have the timer there, so let's do that. That is a good thing. Cheers! Thank you, Koike! Thank you, Koike! But now you will see what I meant. This is not going to be easy. But so, and now you maybe also can understand why I can't play now, because I can see the whole screen, of course. It's just you for those boxes, so well, now there is good hints, so there is kind of good hints. I can't to be not give them to you, because that would be too cruel. But if you think this is too easy, you can of course say that it's too easy, make it harder. And believe me, I can do this much harder. So I don't know what you think about this whole thing, but I think that it's kind of cool. A little bit variant or something like that. And like I said, there is Koike. Koike is very close. So Koike was in Cannes, and it was in on the base, I think, but Nice, I think Nice is somewhere over there, so it is there, by the way. So let's continue. So maybe you don't like this kind of things, but I kind of argue with you on that, because this is same kind of playing that you like no moving, panning, zooming. That is harder than normal games and that kind of thing. This is one way to make harder. One format to make things harder and kind of more challenge for your gaming. It's different. I believe it's different that you may be used to, because it's usually by time and by moving, not moving, panning, zooming. But this is one way to make it harder. This is one way also to make it harder. So there is only Koike with us. So I think Valtteri went away, fly away. But that's okay. That is cool also. I hope that we get more players, because this is kind of sad, and I really hope that this is not how you react to this game format, because I am kind of very disappointed if you can't handle that kind of differences, that we can do something else, not the same thing again and again and again, but make little bit changes and enjoy different kind of competition. I really think this is New York, because there was a bus that said it was New York public transport, so I don't believe that kind of transport you can find anywhere else but in New York. Yes, it is in New York, so it's kind of clear that I'm not very popular. And by the way, I can't see my Twitch stream there, because I thought that when I see that I can kind of guess how long is the delay, but it's not happening. But we will go this to the bitter end, so those are the letters. I would say maybe Thailand. Maybe that is Thailand, but University of West of England. Bristol. What? Is this Bristol? It's in Australia, I think. Maybe. It is in Sri Lanka. So now we can see. Now we can see again. This is what I mean. We have two huge black spots there on your screen, and still these guys are in right place, right city, and almost even with each other. So it was in Colombo, Sri Lanka. Cool. It was cool. Yes, and if I don't see your messages there in chats, because there are now two chats and everything, so don't be offended, because it's just too hard to sometimes to do that. So, and let's do that again. And it's not so easy. It's only getting. And like I promised, that is getting hard, because this is good example. This is very good example. You can guess quite accurately where this is about. Not exactly, of course, but the country and those kind of things. But how about now? Ain't this little bit more difficult? You can see the same things than before, but maybe this ain't so easy. As easy as you can see before. My English is getting worse when I have more things to think about. But that's okay. I think you can understand me. And now I think that Koike is getting where I'm going here, because this will be tough gaming. You wanted, many of you wanted the tough games because you are really expert players, and this is tough gaming. This is really tough gaming, like you see. And there is Koike, the closest. It was in Ukraine. It was kinda close to Lviv, and Koike and RKX, welcome, were in Ukraine, and Valtteri was in Germany. Yes, and I think Valtteri would have been in Ukraine also if this had been the same kind of play along like normally. But it's not. There is nothing normal about this. This is hard, and this is getting harder and harder and harder until you have to push everything that you got to challenge your opponents. This is kind of no move, ban or zoom, and kind of like maybe 10-second games or that kind of things. But this is different way to do the same thing. When we are blocking most of your view and I decide what you can see, it's the different way to make it kind of hard. So let's see. This is one easy or also easy place for our expert players, but how about now with more difficulty? So Koike was only one who made the guess, so we have no idea. We have no idea what others would have done, but Koike was kind of right area, so, and those others are at the same level as Koike about, so I think they would be all been there. So welcome Sopuli, welcome Canada. Valtteri says that he couldn't make better guesses even if without the blocking screens. So, and Canada and Sopuli and everyone, you can join. It's that code which you can see there on the screen. SX4WR is the code, and this is play along. So I repeat, this is play along, not party, this is play along. So you have to join in, but it's play along. It's also here in the game the code is visible, but there is that it's text on the top of that. But this is, those are there on purpose, so it's meant to do this much harder than what it usually is. Valtteri says that play along format is kind of sad because you have to push the guess button every time. But I think it makes it maybe more interesting because you have to decide when you push that. How much time you use for thinking and when you are taking the risk and make your guess, because if you are guessing too late, it can be already be over. The game can be already be over. Yes, there is Canada. There is Koike Chino RKX, yes. And yes. And you can join with that SX4WR code. You can join. But remember, it's play along. No, not party. It's play along. I think that tree is kind of thing that I would base my guess. It's somewhere in Australia, I think, or New Zealand or something. It reminds kind of eucalyptus or something like that. But I don't know. That's why I'm not a good player, because I don't know. But I think that this could be interesting format, but of course not the only format, because like in Discord and in the description of this live, there I say that it's only half of this live and other half is party. So it was in Tasmania. So I'm kind of proud of myself. JJ, welcome. Welcome. It's nice that you joined. Koike says that, nah, they're way better than Koike. No, they are not. Maybe Jupiter. Interesting. I don't know what is Jupiter. I must admit that I don't know what is Jupiter. So I'm kind of excited with this game format, because this is very challenging, and this is something that you can't be kind of professional, and this is not something that you are already done for last 5 or 10 years. That's impossible, because I don't think that very many people are doing it like this, like I'm doing right now. So, and I don't know about you, but I'm excited to try some new things which I don't know exactly, and I'm not very good, but I try to find out that and game and compete. That's very interesting. So, well, that is good. Everyone got their guess. Daniel went Europe, so Belarus. Yeah, I think that is kind of interesting. Yes, South America and Middle America. So Koike, they are way better than Koike, and like we see, they are way better. You can't escape Koike. But there is RKX quite close, and Valtteri Canada and JJ went to South America. So interesting. That is interesting. But before you can escape, that's not all. That's not all. But this can be always be harder. So before we reach the end, it will be hard. It will be really hard. So this time urban world. That should be basically more easy, but do you know what? Do you know what? It's only getting harder and harder. This is starting to get quite hard. So I try to show you something that you are not entirely without any clues, but I think you have to make quite a lot of things you have to guess, and you have to decide also when to make your guess and when to push the button, because after that the guess is made. But if you don't push the button, your guess is worthless. So that, I think that makes it very interesting. And remember that you only have to be better than your opponents. Not perfect, but only better than your opponents. So interesting. Now Koike is in Mexico. Interesting. I think that would be, or Italy. Those maybe what I think of that. But others in Europe, but no one is there. So it was in Istanbul. And I think every good player will know Istanbul. So every one of these guys, Koike and JJ and Canada and RKX and all of those and many others, they wouldn't know the Istanbul. But that's why we are doing this. And again, I think this is kind of that you expert players, you know where we are. This ain't so hard for you, but it's much harder when you are doing it like this, because you kind of trying to see, does it really look like the place you know it is, but is it when you can't see the whole picture? Is it that, or can it be some other place? And Sopuli, yes, we can do all kind of things at the second part of this thing, this live, because I hope that this is going to be a long live. I'm not sure, because I am bleeding so hard that my loss of blood is extremely hard to handle, but my purpose is to do about 7 hours or something like that. But the first half, this what we are playing right now, this will be only play along and only this thing that gets harder and harder. But the second half, which is little bit longer than the first half, then we are playing party like we are usually playing, and same kind of, and we can make any kind of changes that you want to make. So no move, pan, zoom, that is possible. With the boxes is also possible if you want. That would be quite nice. That feels quite good for me if you want to do that, because there I really used time and thought when I made this kind of challenge for you. So I really hope that you are liking what I'm doing, because obviously the basic game is too easy for you. It's clearly much too easy. So, but now we can see that it's not so easy, and it was in Paris, so even in Paris it's difficult. So close, Valtteri, Koike, RKX, all very close, but not in Paris. Also JJ, good thinking, because Portugal looks, at least for me, it's almost same looking place. And there is Canada. Canada is in Canada, in Ottawa. So that is interesting. That is really interesting. You went to your home ground, so. And if you are thinking how more hard this can get, you will find out. But now you already know why there were the text "it's" at the beginning of this gaming. So not very easy, ain't it? Not very easy at all. Kind of keyhole looking thing. You have to make your guesses by looking through the keyhole. That is kind of interesting. I think this is USA maybe. It's tough, but it's meant to be tough. So Valtteri was in San Antonio, so that is, I would say that's impossible, but you can see here that it's not impossible. Even this kind of making things hard, they can find the places. If you give these guys even a hint of some clue, they will know the place. So kind of have to hide the things from them. I was searching Australia like a pro I am. Yes, welcome that Arno guy. Yes, it's down left corner. It's not under anything. It's that SX4WR. The white base and black letters. And it's play along. Remember that Arno guy, it's play along, not party, play along. Uutista joka tuutista is there. Yes, welcome. And thank you everyone that you are helping each other there on chat, because I really appreciate that. That is cool. So again, Taiwan, 3 guesses in Taiwan and 1 guess in Singapore. And these are good players. These are all good players. So there is Koike Nerke even in Hong Kong and there in Macau. So like you see, all of these players would have known it's in Japan if they played their self and not with me. Every one of these guys can find these kind of places, but that's why we do it little bit harder. And we do another game with the same map. This is an urban world, because so much of the view is covered, so maybe we need kind of views that are a little bit easier to recognize. So not the hardest rural sceneries with so much of the view covered, because it can be maybe too hard. It can be too hard. For me this would be impossible. I would not do anything with this kind of, if I were one of you just gaming over there, I would not do anything with this kind of hints and so much covered. Yes, Sopuli says that rural is easier in my opinion. That's interesting. That's interesting. Thank you for telling that. I don't know if others are thinking the same, but I believe that those are kind of universal thoughts. So that is interesting point, because so good guesses, and even Huutista joka tuutista is in St. Petersburg. So it was right city, even the right city. So we can go to rural also, if that's maybe even easier. So I kind of trying to show the street sign, because that is one thing that I look, because those official street signs look completely different in different places. So This is hard to be host because I have to be vigilant so I can show at least something to you, because it's not good if I don't show anything. I kind of went past that, so that's not helping, by the way. But wow, RKX huutista, joka tuutista almost full points, like I said, these guys are pros. I can't say anything else, but these guys are pros, completely pros, unbelievable. Koike was close, and Canada was also. Yes, I think that was kind of good guess. I maybe would went there somewhere, San Francisco, Los Angeles also, or maybe totally different country altogether. But of course, without those black spots in the normal game, with those covers I can't play at all. But fortunately I do not have to play. I'm really interested to see how good you are, for example, in this, because when I'm doing this and showing you kind of limited amount of things, I can more accurately know also what it is that makes you know that it's where it is. So like now the Japan, I would have known the Japan with no covers, but with covers I don't think so. So it was kind of in Tokyo. Kind of. Close. Right country. Everyone was in right country. And I think also it can be that those players who aren't really totally experts, they are kind of avoiding this game, because I understand it, because this is so hard. It meant to be hard, but still most of us players do not have any kind of chance to make good guesses. It's just some guess. This is USA. Maybe somewhere over there, I think. Maybe that would be my guess, but so interesting. But this way we can see the differences with the normal game, even with no move, pan, zoom, and very short time they know where we are. It's almost even game, but now we can see the differences. You have to be so sharp, because it can be that the thing that you have to see is there only for very, very short amount of time. And I think that we had a very good clue there. I think that was very good clue. But were you sharp when we saw that clue? Were you sharp? Or were you looking at the map or something on that moment? But still, I'm happy that I chose to do this kind of thing first, because I think this is interesting. Yes, it was kind of, there was the sign in that sign there said Kana, so even for me it would have been kind of easy. And there is 3 guys there in right city, so. And welcome our new player also, welcome. And you can follow this on YouTube and in Twitch, and those are in the description of this live. And also there is Discord, and that is the bottom of the description of this live in YouTube. In YouTube live there is a description of this live, and there at the bottom is Discord address. From there you can know the new live streams and that kind of things. That HANNU guy says that I like this game mode too. I think stream delay is acceptable. It's less than 10 seconds for me. Yes, and I made the choice that it's so short that it can be. So it's usually about 10 seconds, and it can be more, but usually it's so rural is not so bad, so we can go rural then. Let's take expert rural, and let's take the test. So I think also this kind of pictures, you experts, you know these kind of right away. On the second that it shows here, you already know where we are. I don't, but you do. So I think this is good way to make it little bit harder, because when I'm moving like this you can see the whole picture, but not at the same time. So it's still little bit harder than usually, and I'm not going to make it too easy by showing as good material as possible, but rather showing kind of hard things. So it was in Netherlands, close to border. Interesting. No one got it. So it's not so easy, but many were there in Estonia, Latvia, Russia, and also Canada, USA, and even in Colombia. So interesting. Tesmi, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's nice to see you. Yes, you are literally the best. That we can see. That we can see. Are you the best? That's interesting to see because you have very tough competition. These are extremely good, and this is the hardest way to do this that you can ever get. So those black screens are there on purpose. Like it says there, it's only getting harder. So you have to be good to win this, but you don't have to be good to play. You can make guesses, and because you can always be wrong, and even winning you don't have to get perfect scores. It's enough to be better than others. You have to remember that no one is perfect on the games like these, but you can always be better than others and win the round. So interesting. There were a lot of guesses. I like that because now we are closing the limits of your capabilities. RKX was there, almost on the spot. So like you see, it's not impossible, but it's extremely hard. Valtteri was also close. So 2 cases that proves that it's not impossible, but also many cases that show it's really hard. And I already said it there in Discord when I promoted this live before, that it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be really hard. So you are not getting any gifts. You have to be concentrated, and so I also have to be concentrated, because otherwise it could be that you can't see anything at all. I think that this live is not going exactly like I planned, because now I have extreme pain, so I have to think something quite fast. So it was in Brazil, so that's cool, but Please help me there in the chat and let others know what is the circumstance, because I have to take just a little bit break and take my pain medication and things like that. I will continue in. So please wait there. I will be back right away. Yes, I'm here again. I'm really sorry about that, but I have very serious illness and I'm bleeding a lot, and that's why things like that happen. But let's continue. So whoa. Let's continue. So South America or even Australia for me, or what else? What else this can be? Maybe this can be even Malaysia or something like that. Maybe not in Africa. Maybe he is from Thailand or Malaysia, Philippines. Can this be from Philippines? And thank you Canada. Yes, I'm kind of okay, because I am really sick, but it's permanent, so it's not going away. And I am gaming, so I can forget the pain and the sickness. So 2 close guesses. So Koike and RKX were extremely close. Valtteri was close like Canada. Uutista joka tuutista went. Yes, I would have gone there, maybe, I think. So let's look at these people. Yes, tough illness is hard, like cancers and these kind of things. They are bad, but they are not the end of the world. As long as you can take it like it's only the sickness, and I am still me. And if I want to play and have fun, I will do that. With sickness or without sickness, that's possible. I won't let sickness to decide for me what I can do and what I can't do. But sometimes it's kind of funny also that things can go south quite fast, like you just saw. It can go far south really fast. And thank you for praying for me. That is cool. I appreciate that very much. So that was in Philippines. Koike was close. Valtteri also was close, and Canada was in South America. Yes, that was kind of confusing. Yes, we have a lot of players. That is cool. That is so cool. And like I said, the first half of this live is this play along and hard play along, but the second half is normal, and that is party. And before the second half, we are taking a kind of half an hour break. Rainbow World. I think that is tough enough. Yes, and let's go. And after this game, I think we have time. Well, we have time of few games still, because I already said that the first part is about 3 hours. So we started at 7, and when we are counting from that, it tells it's about 10 p.m. or 2200 Finnish time when we have done our 3 hours worth of play along, and then we are taking about half an hour break, and during that there is no live, so I cut this live and I will start a new live very close. Again, Oman. You know that it's in Oman. That is interesting to say at least. But also Kanadan uutiset, joka tietysti think there. I think my opinion is over there where it was the road stones, or what they are, curve stones. They are yellow and black, and here in Israel they are white and black. And that is of course just my opinion. Well, this is interesting. I think that if you can say exactly where this is, you are quite good. Well, now we have a summer, so it was good that I start walking, because now we got summer. Winter was interesting. There we have kind of more earth there, because there is kind of, it's little bit maybe yellow. There is a bus, by the way. There is a bus. I have to say same things many times, because I don't know how to say those, or I at least I don't remember how to say those, so I say them one way at first and then another way. It was in Mongolia, so both guesses were there, and Koike was quite close. So I think this kind of places are very interesting, but you need much experience to really make a difference between these kind of views. That you know the soil, and you know the rock, and you know the plants and things like that. There were one sign, but it wasn't very informative, so this is kind of interesting. Is this Rockies? Can this be Rockies? Maybe. It's not white. But no, it was in South America, so this Bolivia. RKX was there, so interesting. And all of you were kind of right, because Peru there and kind of same hills and same rocks, but different spot. Interesting. Rainbow World, this. I think this ain't so easy. Rainbow isn't exactly a beginner, so I think that is kind of clue. Haha! Did you notice that? No more! You have to be vigilant, because there is one chance only. There is kind of something. Interesting. But that's not there too long either, so you have to make your choice. Whoa! It's interesting to see how good you are. Even this kind of coverage. And the few last games, they will be tough. They will be really, really tough. But let's not go tougher until then. Yes, I will read the chats, and there is 2 chats, so it takes little time. Sopuli says that there should be a timer in game for all participants. Yes, there should be. I can't understand why there is not, because I kind of thought that you have a timer on your own, but it's not like that. Koike says that yeah, and the guess button should not be as jank as it is. Yes, that is also a little bit of a problem. And some game formats, especially in party, when I try to guess, my guess button is kind of having a seizure. It's jumping, and the whole thing is jumping, and it's almost impossible just to press the button. So there is room for improvements. There is clearly a room for improvements. Again, somewhere near Australia. I based that on these trees here. Now I have so many screens and views and every kind of things that I always look at the wrong screen and kind of freeze and think that what's that? I wasn't supposed to look at that then. Kind of don't remember what I was trying to look. And yes, I know I am talking I'm talking a little bit confusing and that kind of thing, but I blame bleeding. Bleeding is tough, especially when you are bleeding a lot. That is kind of tough call. So, AI generated world. Wise mix of computer generated and hand-picked locations. I think that is good. Yes. Let's go there. Because I have even more black screens to offer. But I think that is kind of hard enough for now. But before we end this first part of our live and ending the play along format, we will try extra hard, so almost everything is covered with the black, so you really have to make guesses through the keyhole. That is funny, by the way, because it's very long time ago when you really did see something through the keyhole. It's not possible anymore. Yes, Sopuli, we can also try no move pan zoom with the black bars. Yes, that is tough, but I don't think it's so extremely tough. And I think the rural map can be more good there, better there. So this was in Sri Lanka and RKX were there. I'm kind of zooming out and in because there is so many things that I am doing at the same time that I kind of, my brains are running idle from time to time and kind of froze to think what I was doing, by the way, and then finally I remember, oh, I was going to do that or that, but it takes time. You can kind of see the drivers and these views are interesting because there is a lot of things that you can see and make guesses and things like that, but and I notice that you have a little bit difficulties to make your guesses on time, so you kind of left out on some rounds, but that's okay. This is meant to be fun. So we can next try the no move pan zoom with the black bars. That is harder Probably the hardest thing that we are ever done in these games and lives ever until now, I think, because that format is very, very tough on its own. But if we are going to do that with the black bars, that is kind of extreme. But that is good. That is just the thing that we are looking for in this time and in this live and game, because we all need challenges, and most of us, it's not hard to find those, but some of us, like most of you guys, that is almost too hard to find enough challenge. So that was in France, near border, and the place is Array, I think, or not. Good guesses. Close, very close. Right country, but not that exactly. And when we remember that we have those black bars there, that is impressive. That is really impressive. And almost every round someone is very close. Not all of you, but someone is always quite close. So others can know from there that it's possible to know. Because of course, if you are playing that kind of game that no one can guess even close ever, it's too hard. But if we have the situation like this, like here, Koike and Canada are a little bit farther, but we can see that it is possible to be almost exactly the right place. Gaborone. Good guesses. Extremely good guesses. This is interesting. I almost said that this could be Finland, but it's not. It's not. I don't think so. Too much hills and that kind of hills, not very Finnish-like thing. How about that? Whoa, that is good clue. You have to be sharp. You have to be sharp. It can be over in a second. But if you are sharp, you can get advantage. But next game is kind of tough because there was a sign but too late. But there was Hungary there in the car. At the side of the car they said Hungary. So even if it's kind of close to border, it was in Hungary really. And now we can put no move ban zoom. Maybe a little bit less time because there is not a lot what you can do. 40 seconds because of the delay. Is everything okay? I think it is, so let's go. Now you can show your magic. Now you can really show your magic. Maybe the rural view would be better. But I think this is, in this map there is rural also. So it kind of chance what you get. Interesting. I'm really interested to see what happens. So, whoa! How can you be so good? Unbelievable. Of course not exactly the spot, but that's not the point, but look how close all of you. So close. That's amazing. That's amazing. Because even with my normal view, I have not I have got any close. I would say Poland, maybe Czech. Again, I'm very interested to see what is your choice. So, it was there between Hungary and Ukraine, quite close to border in Ukraine. It is over there. What you get out of it? So Koike went there quite deep in Russia. Yeah, I think quite good. RKX thought kind of like me. Somewhere over there I thought also. And where is Valtteri? Interesting. Valtteri thought it was in South Argentina. Valtteri has made very good guesses there before. So he knows that area quite good also. Again, I would say Australia maybe, but kind of weird. Kind of poor. More poor than Australia, I think. And remember that I have the whole picture. Cambodia. So interesting. So Koike was in Thailand, that was quite close. That is in Indonesia, I think, RKX, and Valtteri was in Colombia. Very interesting choices. Very interesting choices. Again, these are not so easy even if you have the whole picture. But when you have only you got few bits and pieces from there and there, it kind of it's unbelievable. When I'm looking at what you see, it's unbelievable that anyone can take any guesses from that, but you can. So I think good guesses from all of you. Koike thought it was in Mexico. Interesting. RKX, again RKX was quite close. Right country, Ecuador, and even quite close. Valtteri was kind of close also, but a little bit too much south. This is interesting because this is kind of thing that does not tell me anything. This is so hard. It can be Poland, it can be Estonia, Lithuania, it can be even France, or even South America. But which is it? Very interesting. And of course it was in USA. It was in USA. I made a list of almost every country in the world except the right one, of course. Interesting. Not embarrassing at all, but it was in USA, over there. There is nothing over there, but it was over there. And Valtteri and RKX were in the USA, except RKX was in Canada. So interesting. Koike thought Denmark. So I think maybe more Denmark or like Latvia or something, somewhere over here, but it was in USA. This is interesting. So let's take another kind of Koike says it, and that's the difference between Koike and those good players. Don't say that. You are competing quite hard. Sopuli says that was hard but interesting. I think the same. It was interesting. It's interesting even to look when you are gaming, because I am trying to learn. It's one kind of gaming, that also. Let's take another game, because there is so little information, so I really am interested to see what good player think based on so little information, because I can compare it to the whole picture, and I can see also the picture that you see. So interesting what you can know about that. So right continent. Interesting. Valtteri and Koike were here side by side, almost on the same spot. So obviously in here it looks like that, I believe. And RKX was here. That is also interesting. And what was the place? So that is kind of small place. Villa Itupanema. You can't see the pictures kind of between the rounds either, but I'm not taking those screens off between the rounds. It's too difficult. Too difficult. But this is really interesting. Like I thought. This is something new. This is something that you aren't doing all the time. So it's more challenging. And the time, I think the time is not too long. So it was place called nothing, because there is nothing over there, but let's see where it is. So it's in Canada. There is no big cities, but there is Saskatchewan. Nobody can read that. It's impossible to read that, so take that. But quite good guesses. Everyone was in Canada anyway. You knew that it was in northern Canada. It was interesting. I would say maybe Greece. This Greece. But remember that I have the whole picture. So it's so much easier for me. But I would say maybe. Am I even close? So no. It was in Turkey. South Turkey, near Israel. Near Syria and Iraq. And you were there. Almost the same place what I thought about. So Koike was there and RKX. Where is Valtteri? But where is Valtteri? Valtteri was there in Mexico. So interesting. This tells a lot of what you are thinking, because when I'm not playing like now, I can see and think what you are thinking and how are you making your choices. That was in Russia. Interesting. Koike. Koike went there. Good. So Koike was on the right island. That was extremely good guess. So RKX was in the central Russia. And Valtteri was kind of Ukraine. No, Romania. Of course, Romania. Kind of. Interesting. Tough calls continue. This ain't much easier. There is so much possibilities. And when you can only see so little, it's so tough. Because there is cars and that kind of things, but you can't see them. Interesting. So it was in there. Koike went North Macedonia. Interesting. And Valtteri went Portugal. Also interesting. RKX was in Malaga. So, and it were here. So this is, what is this place? It's kind of Morocco. Yes. I think this is interesting format. I think we can take few of these because these are quite fast. So those of you who want real challenge, you can have it here. Koike says that going North Macedonia for Spain. What the loser that Koike do this? Koike, how did you get chocolate there? Interesting. I also wonder that. But I wonder many other things also. Whoa, that was interesting because the place was here, South Sweden. So, and guesses, Koike and RKX, they both went to Finland. Only Valtteri is in Sweden. But there is no free lunch here. You have to make good guesses to compete. I can't understand why my screen shows. My Twitch screen shows that I'm offline. Interesting. I don't think so. Interesting. So it was in Florida, near Orlando. And RKX was in the right country, so it was here. Is this Woodhurst or what is this place? There is no city name here. I don't know what it is because there is no city name. But Valtteri and Koike. Valtteri went to Brazil and Koike went to somewhere Argentina. Interesting. Koike says, Jesus. Sopuli answers that were there palms? Yes, there were, but I don't think that they were there a lot that you can see them there with the black screens. But there were palm trees in the picture. Not very easy, or what you think? I think you have had more easier games than these before, but so again in USA, and again these guys are good. That is obvious. That kind of guesses, they are good. Valtteri was the closest this time, and he was in right country. The right place was in Boston, USA. And RKX and Koikechino, they were in Toronto. Imagine going to Toronto from for Boston. Happens. Like, who does such things? Definitely not me. This is so cool. Yes, I want to see differences between you. And it's not happening when we have easy maps and easy game formats. You are so good that there is no difference between you. You are few meters away from the right place, all of you there. And that is cool, but it can be also a little bit boring if it happens all the time. So I think these are kind of more interesting. So our players are quite close each other. So there is Uruguay and there is Argentina about there, but the right place was here. And what is that? There is nothing here. So so it's in the middle of nowhere, but kind of north Brazil. So interesting. But all of those guys, they thought kind of same way, same thinking, same kind of thinking. Again, there are a few interesting things in this picture, but they are not available for the players. So it's interesting. It's very interesting because very few clues. So it is in Bulgaria, so there, Bulgaria, yes. And RKX was in Bulgaria. Good guess, extremely good guess. Valtteri was in what country is that? Croatia. Yes. And where is Koike? Koike is in Luxembourg. Interesting, Luxembourg. Very interesting. Again, we have lots of time in this first part of live, because this is only the first part of live. So we have a lot of things in the second part, and the second part is longer than the first part. First part is about 3 hours. It ends about 10 p.m. Finnish time. Yes, there were bollards and there were other things, but they were mostly behind the black boxes. I imagine them behind those black boxes. That was Koike, that was great. If you can know what is in the back of those black boxes, that is extremely good thinking. Most of us can't do that, but if you can, that's awesome. Abu Dhabi was that place. So, almost even score. And in India, interesting, Koike is in India. Not for real, but I in this game. So and RKX is in India also, in Mumbai. So India, interesting. Valtteri was there, so it was in Jordan. Interesting. Very interesting. Flags of the world with no flags. Yes. Ain't it interesting? But I still remind you that this is supposed to be hard. As hard it can get, and you already showed me that you can take the challenge, so you can do this kind of things. So interesting. It was in Cuba, in Havana. So RKX was in Honduras. I think that looks like that also. Buenos Aires, not a bad choice. And interesting. Valtteri was in Montpellier in France. France was interesting choice. That was really that was really France. No, but that was really interesting. Koike missed that we changed the map. Yes, you got to get sharp, because this is flags of the world. But no flags, of course, because it would be too easy. but except there is flag, but it's behind the only sign. What's wrong with my D button? Yes, that is the thing that many of us is thinking. What's wrong with my D button? So that was in there, Timor-Leste. I don't know what kind of country is that, but Koike is closest. He's in Vietnam. Interesting. And RKX is in Cameroon in Africa. And of course Walter is in South America near Santiago, there in Argentina. So did Hannu get Timor-Leste? Of course I did. I'm professional. You have to trust me because I'm professional. Trust me. I know what I'm doing. Of course I know. I am just trying to teach you because I already know these things, but I still have to teach you to you so you can know as many things that I know. These are most of these are kind of things that I it's almost futile where I put my mark because no idea, not at all. That was in, I think, Gabon or Garbon or something like that, and it is in Botswana. And where are you? You are all over the place. RKX went there. Martinique. Interesting. So without the flag it's not so easy, and when you can't see the picture it's not so easy. Maybe I am making this a little bit hard for you, but never mind. What is that country? Tajikistan, I think. Koike is in Tajikistan. So Walter is in Bangladesh, near India, I think. Again, there is a flag. Quite good flag, but again it's behind the black screen. Good evening, Arttu A. Welcome. Come along and play. We have a very long live today, and the first part is this, what you can see here, and this is play along, and this is the hardest format than you can ever have, because like you see there is black screens covering the view and no move, no pan, no zoom. So this is as hard as it can get. But like you see, many times these guys still know. And 2 points less than perfect from RKX. It was in Georgetown and he was there. But Koike was there in the sea, drowning. Whoa, that was kind of difficult thing. And Valtteri was in Australia. Yes, Arttu, this first part to about 10 p.m. or 22,000 22:00 finish time, eli 10 illalla suunnilleen vaihtuu sitten. Silloin pidetään puolen tunnin tauko ja sit jatketaan normaalilla party-hommalla. Then at 10 p.m. finish time we keep about half an hour break and then we continue with the party. So that is kind of the normal normal live, and this is kind of, let's try world cities. This is only 1,000 places, too little places. No, not good. Not good at all. Let's try kind of beginner's map. Now you should get full points, so about half an hour still left with our first part of this live. Then I will cut the live. I will stop the live and take a break, get some rest, and about half an hour, and after that I will start a live again, and then we start a party and we continue with the party mode, and you can make wishes and things like that, like always. RKX and Valtteri, quite close. So it was in Indonesia, I think. Kind of hard. Because this is a learnable meta world, so this is for beginners like me. So this should be quite easy. But it's not. South Africa, I would say. Let's see. It's basically a normal map if we don't see the metas. Yes, that is kind of good thinking. Indeed it is. RKX was in India and quite close even, so where is Valtteri? Valtteri is in Argentina. Interesting. Yes, indeed. You should see the meta. Because otherwise it's only Can you play a diverse world map? Yes. We can play that next. And to you, Arttu, and for every one of you, the party is kind of that normal game and normal life that you are used to. Guam. That was in Guam, and RKX knew that. Where is Valtteri? Valtteri is in South America, Ecuador. Interesting. Yes, those this kind of maps like this, when you need something more than just the map to get along, is kind of confusing for me, because I'm not very good at technical things. Even if I try, but it takes a lot to learn new things when you are older. What? White spot. That is Miles. Welcome, Miles. It's white. Totally white spot. Interesting. I've never seen anything like that. I kind of hope that you would join us. And in fact, yes. I think that Jussi is Miles. I would say that he is. Yes, you are very close. And indeed, like Jussi, you can also write in Finnish. That's quite okay. I just speak English because we have English speaking players with us. It's kind of fair to speak something that all of us can understand, because I think that not very many people in the world really can speak Finnish. So if I only speak Finnish, they are kind of out of the whole thing. That is kind of sad. So let's not do that. RKX was closest. Where is Miles? Miles is in Turkey. Interesting. Miles thought that was in Turkey. By the way, Miles is good with these, so it's interesting to see how Miles plays with these. So yes, and the map is Diverse World. Yes, that is interesting map. So Diverse World, is it here? Or do I have to look it out? Because interesting. I think it's not here, so we have to look it up. Is it here? So where is the search? Why there is no search thing? My map, liked map. No search. This is kind of hard way to find this, but why there is no search? Is it there? Yes. Diverse World. That was easier than I thought. Sorry, maybe I'm little bit tired. Let's go. Oh, well, one more click before we can go to play. Is this USA? Interesting. Interesting. Very few clues for you, because most of good clues is covered. And not many good clues anyway, but we can say it's kind of even game, so interesting, very close, but it was kind of near Montreal, so in Canada, and only RKX was in Canada, in Toronto. Others were in USA, but good guesses. Good guesses. I would maybe say that this is Austria or Switzerland. Maybe. Yes. Sopuli says that a diverse world is discontinued, which makes me believe the newer countries might not be in it. That very well can be. I think I saw a diverse world 2 map there when I made the search. I think there was diverse world 2. I don't know if it's the same thing. Austria. So Valtteri was in Austria. And it is in Switzerland, so very close, very close. There was quite good clues for me when I did see the whole picture, but not very good clues for you, so that was very good guess. Again, there is few things that you can maybe make something out. There is one good clue, but you can't see that. So there was a USA flag. That would have been quite good clue, but is this Garibaldi, I think, or something, near Portland in USA. Interesting, that is interesting. And we have Miles and RKX, so almost the best players, and for sure among the best players. So they went in South Korea and Japan, but USA flag, of course, that would have been sure clue for them, but it was behind the black screen. So I would say maybe Brazil, near equator. No, it's not. It's in Sri Lanka. So, whoa, that was cool. Like I said, these guys are good. RKX and Mile was quite close indeed. Quite close. But where is Valtteri, by the way? No, it's JJ. Welcome, JJ. Welcome back. More like welcome back, because she already was there, but she went away. but she's in Brazil. Like I would have been in Brazil. So interesting. So Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is kind of hard because this is tough because so many countries can be like this. So many countries can be like this. Poland, Finland, even France, Sweden, USA, some parts of South America. This is kind of universal picture, I think. But where is it? It is in this is Spain and not any special place. Santiago de Compostela is there, so clear, near, not clear but near. Interesting. Interesting. So RKX won. Mile was second, Valtteri third, and JJ was last. But not everyone played the whole thing, so again, like many times, not all the players play every round and so on. And then you can't compare them because when you are not playing, for example, round 1 and others are playing there, it's not very fair to compare. Tough call again. So that is in Germany. So Miles was in Germany, so good guess. Good guess. And RKS was in Czechia. So good. JJ Australia. Interesting. I kind of thought Australia also. But it was kind of universal picture for me. It can be so many places. Again, there is one good clue here, but unfortunately you can't see that. that is interesting. I don't know exactly if that would help me, but I think you know what that was. If I think this is USA, Pennsylvania. Let's see what it is. Not in Pennsylvania, but yes, there was Postbox Jackson, but it was kind of weird Postbox, so RKX went there. Interesting. And Miles and JJ, they were close, very close indeed. And again, I would say that the most important clues is left out. because of the black boxes. Interesting. So it is in USA, Austin. I wouldn't know that, but there were little bit kind of benches and that kind of things that give little bit of clue. LKX went there, so that is in Los Angeles. Where are others? So JJ went France. Yes, that is a good choice also. And that's why those are so hard, because many places looks like that. And this is, you can say the same thing about this, because maybe Poland. So it's in France. Interesting. JJ is there in Norway, and RKX decided to go Ireland. Interesting. And Miles went to Spain. Interesting. It takes little bit time there, because I am genuinely interested. I'm genuinely interested about your choices and your gaming, because I admit that you are really good. So I am trying to learn from you. So I want to see what you are thinking in different circumstances. Koike came back. Good. You ate your burrito. That is good. Burrito in a day keeps you going. So Koike, RKX and Miles against almost even. It was in Minneapolis, so yes, and some ice cream too, and now I'm even more fatty. Ice cream! That is unfair! You have food and I don't have. Well, in fact I have food. I just can't eat and do live at the same time. Or maybe I can, but I don't think that I will do that. That is kind of hard. Well, this is interesting. Show your colors. Show your colors. But Erkki, where is JJ? JJ is here, playing with us. She is here, but she is certainly not Erkki. JJ is JJ. She is cool and she is here. Or I think that she is here. Yes. Yes, JJ is here. but that was in Russia, Krasnodar or something like that. And RKX, Koike and JJ, they all went to Romania. Interesting. And where is Miles? Miles is in USA. Interesting. Sopuli asked if can we do an arbitrary rural world after this. Yes, we can do, and that's about time to end this first part. And I hope this is the shorter part of our live stream today. But there's some time after 10 p.m. we will end this part. But I think the arbitrary rural world is kind of good ending. 1 or 2 games with that, and then we take half-hour break because I have to rest. That's a bad thing, but when I'm rested, the good thing is that I can keep on going few hours more if I rest. So that was in USA, so it was near Cheyenne in there. So Koike and Miles about even, RKX close behind, and JJ went there in Romania. Those and these. This is again that kind of thing that it's very hard to make good guesses. But again, I think if you had the whole picture, it would be so much easier for you, of course. I think you probably got at least the right country with the whole picture. So it was in Romania near Bucharest. Yes, I think with whole picture I know that all of you would have been in Romania. I've seen that before. But Estonia from Koike, Latvia from Valtteri, and Lithuania from Miles, Poland from RKX, and Netherlands from JJ. Interesting. Everyone got their own country. Interesting. Wow. This is really getting harder and harder. I have to remember the rural world. I can forget that, but I really try to remember. Arttu says this is USA, this is Mongolia. Interesting. The thingy looked a little like maitolaituri. Yes, indeed it was. I think it was maitolaituri. Because I've seen them and they look like that. But so it was there. And what country is this? This is Chile. It was on Chile's side there. And Miles is closest. there. Koike is also near, but others. JJ, she is in Jordan. Interesting. In Jordan, yes. It makes sense also. And Mongolia. That also makes sense, I think. Mongolia. Yes, I'm trying to learn. That's why this takes a little bit time, because I want to really see what kind of choices you make with these. When you don't have exactly enough information, what kind of thinking you do. Same kind of things about that eye. But when you have whole picture of you are playing, really you are good enough to find the right places. So that was in Yokohama. Interesting. There was Heard Island, McDonald's Island. What is that? So JJ was in Slovakia. Interesting. And where are other? So Koike and Miles were both in Netherlands. Koike was in Rotterdam. No, it's not. Miles were in Brussels in Belgium. So interesting. And now I have to remember. To go there. What was arbitrary rural world? So it's that. Yes. Computer generated rural mix of an arbitrary world and dirty world. Please don't come complaining when a location doesn't fit your non-computer vision of rural. No, I don't come to complain to you. I'm quite happy. I'm usually not complaining so much. So I would say this is also Austria, maybe. I would say Austria. So the place is there. Place is in the middle of nowhere. Celerina. What is the country? So it's in Switzerland. So RKX was the closest, and in Switzerland also. Miles and Koike almost even there in Switzerland also. Valtteri not much farther, not much more distance, but not exactly. But JJ, JJ is in USA. So I think she thought it was Rockies. Yeah, maybe. Interesting. And why I'm looking your choices so closely? That's because you are good players, and I try to learn from your choices. That's why I'm looking those. And also it's interesting because this is live anyway. So it's interesting for those who are looking to see what happens, and even for yourself who are playing, because you can watch these lives also in recordings and see what kind of things happened, and then also it's cool that you can see what happened and what everyone did. This is interesting, by the way. This is in Canada, and no one knew that. No one knew that in Canada. So Miles was in France. Next closest was Valtteri, and he is in Czechia. And JJ, she's in Poland. And RKX is in Russia. And so is also Koik. Very interesting, very interesting. So kind of interested to see what kind of clue you need to make those kind of amazing and right guesses, and there wasn't enough clues. So again, best clues are behind those black boxes. So let's see what happens. Yes, the palm trees and those kind of things were behind the black boxes. So it was in Malaysia. Ipoh is the place. So closest is, well, they are kind of even. There is Valtteri, JJ, there is RKX and Miles. Almost even, but where is Koike? Where is Koike? Koike went kind of Colombia. Interesting. I think I would have went Colombia somewhere over here because it really looked like that. Let's see. Yes, and after this game, we take one more game with this same map. And then we take the break. And break means that I will cut the live. So it will be completely cutted off. So I will start a new live. I will start a new live when I rested. So that is interesting. And what was that? Again, interesting. It was in Canada, Snowden. But no one knew that. Only Miles is in Canada. So interesting. And where are rest of? JJ thought it was in Austria. Interesting. And most of players thought it was either in Latvia, where is Koike and Valtteri, or in Estonia, where is RKX. Very interesting. So that is amazing that anyone can know anything with these pictures. That is so amazing. I think that here is kind of good clues. That side of road, that kind of fence, so what is that? I think that is good clue if you know what you are doing. I don't, but... And you can see it. Even with the black boxes. So... But still, not everyone is there. It is in Taiwan, so... There is only miles. In Taiwan. Interesting. RKX went to there, so he's in Hong Kong. Rural world, Hong Kong. Interesting. JJ is in Vietnam. Valtteri is in Malaysia. Also interesting. And Koike went Malta. Is that rural? Maybe it is. Yes, of course, part of it is almost certainly rural. So, this next one is the last game, but only for the first part of this live. And after this game, this live will stop, completely cut off, but only for about half an hour, and then I will come back. Koike says that I don't know about rural, but my tummy might slightly be kural. There is Finnish and also English. Finglish. USA, Mongolia, Austria, Thailand. So let's see is any of those. It's not. What? Well, that went extremely well. So, and away you go. Let's go back there. So, don't push any buttons if you don't know what you are doing. That is good instruction, but I don't always do that. Nigeria. It was in Nigeria, so none of Artu's choices was correct. But closest was Miles. He was in Ghana. Interesting. And the rest of you were there. Arthur was in Thailand. JJ was in Cambodia. And Koike and also RKX were there. What is that place? Is that Philippines or Brunei or something? I think that is part of Philippines. Brunei is that little place there. I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm just the host. Thank you. It's Malaysia, says Koike and also Sopuli. It's the Sarawak region of Malaysia. Okay, it's Malaysia. Thank you. That is good that you said that, because if someone wants to know, it's good to know that and not think that it's Indonesia, like I said. Because I don't really know. I just try to read it here, and if there is no text like that, I can't know. So, kind of even between RKX and Miles. Both knew it was in Peru. I think those are extremely good guesses. Extremely good. Valtteri went to Mexico. And Koike is all the way there in USA. Even north of Las Vegas, so deep in USA. And JJ also. And JJ went to Egypt. I think JJ makes same kind of guesses than I. Many times I've seen that. But one difference. JJ is better at playing than me. So not so much errors. Jussi says that play little bit faster. Yes. We try to play quite fast, but sometimes it's kind of difficult to adjust the speed so it feels right. And indeed, this is feels little bit slow. But on the other hand, it can be almost too fast sometimes. But there is Mongolia. The place is Mongolia, and there is Miles near Ulaanbaatar, so he is closest. Then Valtteri is there in Kazakhstan. JJ went Slovakia, and Koike and RKX are in South America. Interesting. Good question, Jussi. Why don't you just speak Finnish? There is no one from outside of Finland. Good question. Few words in Finnish. Jussi, hei. Koitetaan tehdä porukalle mukavia pelejä. Ja jos et ole sattunut huomaamaan, niin näissä liveissä on yleensä niinku puolet porukasta on muualta. Ja varsinkin sit kun avataan toi partipeli, siellä on tosi paljon pelaajia ulkomailta ja ne tulee siihen, liittyy siihen avoimeen peliin ja sitten lähtee taas pois ja me voidaan pitää porukkaa, puhua suomea ja pitää se niin, että meillä on se sama suomiporukka joka kerta. Tai sitten me voidaan ottaa huomioon myös ulkomaalaiset ja puhua englantia ja ehkä saada mielenkiintoisia pelejä. Me ollaan saatu tosi kovatasoisia pelaajia ympäri maailmaa. Ja mä pelaan kyllä mieluummin sillä tavalla, että me otetaan mukaan ne kaikki kovat pelaajat muualtakin ja saadaan haastajia teille. En tiedä sinusta, mutta näin ajattelen minä. Joo. And now I continue in English. So. It was in India, so RKX and Koiketsino and Miles were there in India. And Valtteri went, and that is in Russia. And JJ is in Romania, so interesting. This is kind of view that is quite universal again. These kind of views are very hard for me. So yeah, it was in USA. Not many of you went to USA, so interesting. So RKX was closest. He was only one in USA. JJ is in South America, in Chile, and Valtteri and Koike are both in Mongolia. So that's also interesting. Miles is in South Africa. Interesting. And like I already said before, now I will take a break and we will continue a little bit before 11 p.m. So about half an hour break, and then we continue with the party mode. So welcome back then, but now we really are stopping these things. So see you in a minute, half an hour about. You will see when the live starts again. Welcome back.